Hi everybody, welcome to my art journal video of the week. Today it's a mood board, which is my take on the January challenge of the journal workshops. And I do start out with a tiny sketch here. Now the mood that I want to focus on is balanced. Therefore, I'm drawing a scale, and I decided to use acrylics only because, again, it's January, and if you remember, if you saw one of the earlier taco clocks, I said that I want to theme my months, meaning one medium is the focus every month, and January it happened to be acrylics. So I thought I'd try something new as well. Usually I would have painted the background and then layered the color for the scale on top. But I have a masking fluid that is supposed to be for watercolor and for acrylics, and I wanted to try it out here. So that's why I'm sketching in my scale before I actually take care of the background. Let me tell you beforehand, it did not work and I had to, well, work around it and repair. But I will tell you a bit more once I get to that point. Since I'm still sketching, why did I choose balanced? Well, the word of the year for me is routine. I want to get back into my artwork routine. The last year has not been, in any shape or form, been like a routine when it came to work. But this year I want to get back to that, so that's the word of the year. And balance actually goes quite nicely with it because I don't want to be overwhelmed with it or don't want to be bored with it. I just want to have everything balanced out. So I'm trying to have a balanced routine, so to say, this year. And I hope that it will work. So after my sketch, I went on with the masking fluid. So that creamy colored gooey thing on the right hand side of the corner is my masking fluid, and again it's supposed to be for watercolor and acrylics. So far I had only used it for watercolor and it worked nicely there, no problems at all, but with the acrylics not so much. And I did let it dry just like I usually do. No blow dryer, no nothing, just air dry. And usually then you can peel off the masking fluid afterwards fairly easily, but it did not want to get off this page. It could be the paper too, because this is a mixed media journal, and the paper is not really like a watercolor paper. It's more like a pastel or chalk kind of paper. It's very smooth, but you can feel the fibers in it. So it might be that the paper was the problem and not the masking fluid. But I will have to find that out later in other projects. So once I had everything dried, I did take 3 spray cans of acrylic spray, a light blue, a dark blue, and white. And I made my background with it. This wooden stencil here is helping me to ground the scale, to have it set on a table or a sideboard or something. That's why I chose that stencil. In the end, funny enough, it looked like glass though, at least to me. So I did let the acrylic spray dry as well, and you can see on the upper right hand side the masking fluid got away quite okay. A bit more work involved there, but then it got stuck and it smeared the acrylic spray, though the paint was really dry to the hand. And at that point I thought, I don't want to ruin it, so I'm just gonna paint over it. I could still see the shapes of the masking fluid, so that actually worked like a sketch or something. So I decided just to paint on top of it with acrylic paints. And I just used 3 colors, a mixing white, a yellow ochre, and a burnt umber to paint the scale and to produce light and shadow there. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. And I just used one brush. It's a round brush of a medium size. I don't know what exact size it is, because if you see on the handle, the upper layer got peeled away already, because this is a fairly old brush and I used it quite a bit. And so I can't read anymore what size it was printed on that brush. So I did make a first layer, like a grounding layer with light ochre only. And then I brought in the 2 other colors, meaning mixing white and burnt umber, and worked together with that yellow ochre, mixing those colors and thus producing light and shadow on my scale here. So the shadow is on the left-hand side of the painting. So I use lights or the mixing white only where the light will hit. And the light is coming from the upper right-hand side of the page. So I'm just, painting that in. It's fairly simple and not a lot to it. And then my scale is pretty much done. I'm just adding a few bits of marker pen to have those tiny cords or ropes that hold the scale together, and not much more. It's again fairly simple and not a lot of fancy techniques that I used this week, but I didn't feel like using other stuff and making it a mixed media page, because again, I'm having my focus on acrylics only, and I do have a month plan for mixed media. So I will, 1 month will have my focus on mixed media things, mixed media paintings, and therefore I restrained myself really to use other media in this painting. I could have used quite a bit of charcoal for shading, that would have been nice, but I did only work in anything that you can see here with acrylics, except for those very, very tiny ropes that are done with a marker pen, because I don't have a brush that is thin enough to have those lines drawn in. So now that the scale is fully painted, I'm just adding a bit of these brown colors to the bottom to make a shadow. And first I thought, maybe I should make a blue shadow, but I didn't feel like it. I wanted to bring the background and the foreground together. That's why I chose brown colors for the shading, or for the shadow on that table or glass sideboard, whatever you see in there. And here I'm just going in with my marker, drawing those lines, and then I'm done. I'm signing my page and I'm good to go. So I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I would be very happy to read from you. And if you feel like giving this video a thumbs up, or subscribing to the channel, or sharing the video with your friends, please go ahead. I'd love that. And I will see you next Monday with a new art journal page. And tomorrow I will have a very, very tiny painting on my Tiny Tuesday series. So stay tuned for some acrylic work there. Have a very good day and have fun. Go paint. Bye.